to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And it is another Wednesday morning, and we've, what do we got right here? We have Welcome to Guns, series episode 12, and we're going to talk about what to expect in a class. We've kind of worked our way up through this, how to find an instructor, it's time to take a class, why you should take a class. Now, you say you've signed up for one. Now, what do you need to expect in a class? And a lot of it depends on, what class you signed up for. So I would imagine if you've signed up for a class, you're going to get something. Maybe if you signed up online, there's going to be a whole list of things that tell you exactly kind of what to expect in that class. And it's going to tell you what to bring, how much ammo. It's going to tell you if is it a 4-hour class, is it a 6-hour class with time allotments. It's going to tell you if you need to bring something to eat or if you have time to take a lunch. And sometimes that's based on your location. They may give you some breaks and you can take some snacks, you can take something. And I always encourage everyone to take advantage of that. When you shoot, right, you are moving. It is a little nervous if you're new. It can be a little nerve-wracking. Bring stuff to drink. Bring something to help your blood sugar out a little bit, right? If you're new to shooting and you're doing a lot of shooting that you're not used to, right, you're going to be standing there. You're going to be holding the gun out. It can take its toll on you. So bring something to eat. Bring some snacks. Bring something, plenty to drink. If you're outside shooting, plenty to drink. And another thing I like to tell people to do, and it should be listed in your list of things to bring for class, right? When you're shooting, I almost would like to require, and I know it's not for everyone, ladies, and I'm talking to you, is wear a hat. A hat is important. It keeps the sun off our face. And it does what? It kind of protects you from brass that you might receive, from someone else's firearm, right? It's just, you got to have your eyes and your ears, and just add a hat to your list of safety requirements, safety gear, PPE. I think it's a good thing. Be very careful wearing those loose-fitting shirts, and make sure they kind of have a high collar. You're doing this to protect yourself. If you're outside and it's hot and it's summertime, you don't want to get dehydrated. So like I said, bring some water, bring some sunscreen, some sunblock, whatever it is, and make sure you put that on. And it keeps you ready for the day, right? It makes you prepared for class. Keeps that blood sugar up, keeps the sun off you, keeps you cool. You're there to learn. You're not there to suffer from the elements. That's not what your first class should be about. So also look and figure out, how much ammo to bring. And then I would always bring what they say, and then I would probably add in about 100 extra rounds. Like, you never know. Some classes that I have offered and been in, some people shoot a little more than they're supposed to, or we're on a roll and we're working on something and they shoot more. So if it says 200 rounds, maybe bring 300 rounds. Typically, depending, like I'm thinking of myself in the past and what I've seen people do here is, if you have multiple firearms, sometimes it doesn't hurt to bring a backup firearm, right? Maybe your gun that you bring has an optic on it, right? Before you get to class, make sure that optic is locked down, is tightened up, is dialed in, is good to go. And then if your optic it takes a battery, bring an extra battery. Just in case that goes down, and you can slap a new battery in it. Have a nice range bag, something you can keep all your stuff in. And I tell people, too, that if we're taking classes out here on my range, that if we're going to be outside all day, I do have a classroom. If we're going to be outside all day, I say, bring a little chair. Do you want to? I got chairs they can use, but I like to let people know that maybe they've got a nice camp chair they like or something. Because, they might be waiting, or we might have a time where we stop and we talk and do a little less shooting and more talking. So bring those kind of things. If you're going to be loading a lot of mags and that is tough on your hands or your fingers, or you struggle with that, or just that, loading mags period can be a pain in the butt. It can make your fingers sore. Make sure you get a nice mag loader, like an Ablula a mag load or something. Know how to use it. Have it taken out of the package. Show up with your ear pro. If it's electronic ear pro, make sure you got spare batteries for that, plus the batteries that are in it. Make sure you show up and your gun is clean and oiled and functioning, right? So you don't take away from the class. Now, another thing I'm going to point out here, it depends on how you contact everyone, but like, for example, when I have a class, I have a program all set up, and it's like an email type program. And when you sign up and register, you'll receive an email, and then usually a handful of days, the week of the class, usually a few days before at least, you will receive another email from me, and it'll talk, and it'll just kind of reassess and reinsure, like, this is what you need to bring, this is what to expect. And it's going to say, hey, look, it's supposed to be windy. Hey, we might have a chance of rain. Hey, it's going to be really, really hot. So there might be some added suggestions on clothes or things to bring to class. Sometimes things do change last minute. So you want to pay attention to your email. And that means you want to pay attention to that junk folder, because I know that there's people that have been in my classes like, we didn't get your email. I'm like, I sent them out. Everyone else got it. Then they go dig through their junk folder, and there is that email. So keep an eye out. If you have questions, reach out to the instructor, the guy putting the class on. Ask those questions, email, text, call, whatever you need to do. Reach out. If you have concerns, reach out. Now, I typically, when we have my classes, I don't... I will tell you whether or not I typically want you to bring the guns into the classroom or leave them in your vehicles till we're ready for them. It just kind of depends on the class. And sometimes it's don't go full hog into loading all your magazines before you show up to class, because sometimes we do drills where we don't need loaded magazines, or we don't need a fully loaded magazine. You're only going to load 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds, whatever I say. Whatever I tell you, whatever the instructor tells you. So you might come with your mags just not loaded, and just let the instructor tell you what him or her want you to do. But yeah, just so if they're an instructor of good quality, if they're an instructor worth their salt, they are going to send out plenty of emails that tells you exactly what to do and what not to do. And your job, honestly, is to look for those emails. Okay, to look for those emails and check that. Keep an eye on that junk mail box, because a lot of times they will go there. So check that out. So there you go. Hope that helps. Like I said, feel free to reach out and ask questions, and you should have a pretty good day at your class when you show up. Classes are always lots of fun. You learn lots of stuff. You meet lots of people. And another thing. Go there with an open mind. You may know some of this stuff. You may feel like you know this, and you may truly know what they're talking about, but you're there to train. More rounds you can put down range, the more practice you can get. Go there with an open mind. Don't refuse to learn. Be open to learning the same thing. Be open to learning new things and different ways to do those. It's a tool in your toolbox. If you go closed-minded, like I've had people show up to my class, and they pretty much, without telling me they don't think they need to be there, they tell me they don't need to be there. Like in their actions, the way they act, all that stuff. And if that's going to be you're just wasting your money at that point. So go in with an open mind and be ready to learn. Okay, I will see you guys next Wednesday. Thanks. Bye.